Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Jonay, for opening and for organizing and supporting us today in the business meeting of the Strategy Process IG. A very warm welcome to everyone. Great to see many familiar faces and to have you join in. Also, of course, on behalf of Janine and Carlo, who are who are of course key part of the leadership team at RIG, and wonderful to have you here. What we'd like to do today is I'll share my screen to open the business meeting, and please feel free to join in with questions as we move through today's session. But wonderful, and it's a great pleasure, I think, particularly to have you join with Toronto being in front of us, right? The opportunity to again meet face to face and to get to see everyone again in person is just a delight. And of course, also, particularly big welcome for those and a big thanks to everyone who's been helping RIG in the past year with all the activities that are required to make the IG work, right? Whether that's reviewing, other activities, organizing, whether, actively or, indirectly helping, make this, a great event in Toronto, as well as other activities and socials that we're going to talk about. But, and of course, also what I'd like to say, it's very exciting to see familiar faces who are awaiting news on awards that we have to announce later on. Please feel free to share things in the chat box while we progress. If things are unclear, questions, anything that may pop up, do either raise your hand, as Jonah was saying, or just let us know in other ways. Happy to open up. So, I think maybe just first of all, I'd like to lay out the agenda. And again, I'm doing this together with Janine Pork and Carlos Salvato. Thanks for having been able to work together over the past year. It's been absolutely great fun and very wonderful to do with you two. It's been a great experience. Our agenda for today is going to be introductions. So I'll talk a little bit about the folks in the IG. Want to update on some news, give you an overview of some of the developments. Then we'll move into the program where Janine will talk about the weekend program that she, along with other key folks in the IG, has been working on and been putting together for the upcoming Toronto program. And then we'll move to the main program that Carlo will talk about for the Monday and Tuesday events. And obviously also a big part of that is going to be recognitions. And then the final part is going to be on moving forward, where we have some exciting news to share on the social front of RIG, as well as the developments moving forward. So that's kind of where we stand with the program. And Carlo, Janine, please fill me in if I'm totally mistakenly overlooking or forgetting something here, right? So this is us, as you've already long seen, right? So Carlo has been program chair following up from last year, and Janine, as irreplaceable as she has been in early years, was already acting as engagement officer, and is currently APC for our IG, and was coming in as representative at large prior to that. And Carly previously joined in, of course, and will be taking over moving forward. The rest of the team is this. So we have a wonderful group of reps. Natalia from Alto, and Saure and Said, of course, and then continuing. This was the first group of folks that was running for the second subsequent year, and continuing our Kodu, Alexander and Joachim, who again, as we'll talk about later, have also been contributing in different ways to the developments and the offerings that we can do as an IG. So, maybe just a little bit of looking back before we start to look forward. So I think, maybe, just to start with maybe the best thing that looking back was definitely in my mind, the social that we organized, the James Bond cocktail party last year in London was I guess, I'm not quoting myself this time, a big smashing hit. I think, that Janine and Carlo, were also, playing such a big role there and pulled off a cocktail party that I think a lot of folks joined in and also recall. So that was really an exciting opportunity that was co-organized with different IGs. We're continuing. We'll have some news on that as we move forward as to what we did with that initiative. Previously, Murat and Patricia had been working also on a revised domain statement for RG that we are currently moving forward on. So that's been solidified and further implemented along with those who have been supportive in the past for RIG. Now, I guess some general trends, right? Just to highlight what we're seeing, of course, more and more, and in a way that that's very positive news, is that we're coming out of COVID. There is obviously less emphasis on webinars. We're moving more and more to face-to-face, and again, hoping that to see many of you also in Toronto. And I guess, this is a question also going out to you relative to updates on IG News. Is there any updates from those who are joining in on strategy, process, research, and initiative that you'd like to share relative to papers, initiative, workshops, conferences, perhaps? Anyone wants to join in there? No, and if I guess no news is also good news, and I'm happy to share a little bit. If all of you are probably hiding all of your big time successes, right? So, but I've seen a lot of very, very cool process work coming out. Obviously, from many wonderful colleagues, and that is great to see. And I think a lot of, whether that's kind of more experimental or more qualitative or other types of methods-based process research, I'm very thankful to see wonderful pieces out, and we'll have some great work also that will be shared in the upcoming conference, of course. I guess, so I'm not missing anyone's hands here or anything, right? Because otherwise I'm bluntly continuing to speak. I'm not missing anyone wanting to join in, right? No. So I usually totally run away from this, but given to share at least some news, then there is a review piece on the role of experience and potential process insights that was coming out recently in the Annals for those, and I've been able to work on that with some colleagues, but I'm not here to kind of talk about that bit. I'm really here for the community and from anything that you may want to share. So for those interested in work on organizational experience, that is ready for you to have a look at. I would certainly invite, if anyone has some news on things that she likes to have the community be aware of and that we can take forward as suggestions or thoughts, please fill that in also in the chat box, because Janine, Carlo, and myself are very happy to take anything forward, either for the coming years or for highlighting during the current conference if we can. So if there's anything that we can do for you, please do fill us in and share that either now or in the chat box, or just in person, of course, if you like.
And Cohen, I would say, including those who will watch the recording of the meeting. So clearly, this is not only open to those who are attending in person, but whoever will be watching the recording, if anyone, please feel free to actually inform us about any initiative that we may want to put forward.
Yeah, great. Absolutely. Thanks so much, Carlo. Thanks for adding that in. And in terms of some of the developments that we see, what we're seeing at our IG is that our membership is earlier was kind of dropping. Right now we're seeing somewhat of a stabilizing figure, so we're confident that we can keep those figures up, and we look forward to to emphasize and to highlight the importance of process work, of course, in our community. And please help us continue to do that, and certainly also by sharing some of the news or ideas, or sharing and getting us to know more about your own work moving forward. And then just maybe as a precursor to what we'll talk about next, let me give you some high-level figures, if that's okay for Janine and Carlo too, about the figures of the past years, as well as the upcoming Toronto event. So in London there were 37, Minneapolis 32, and in London there were quite a number of 65 submissions for IG. Toronto this year we're seeing 33, of course, largely due London having to do with the combo setup, right? Our acceptance rates for Toronto this year has been 51%, so slightly over over half of the submissions were accepted for presentation or joining in sessions for our IG itself. Now, given the nature of our IG on identified revolving largely around process, we tend to historically be kind of heavily Europe oriented. So without further ado, let's go to our second agenda point on the Saturday and Sunday program. Janine, can I ask you to fill us in on that?
Okay, I definitely can. I think you need to click forward though, because that's the only thing that I cannot do. So yeah, good. So thank you all for being here. And for those of you who are watching the recording, thank you for watching our recording. So I would like to share first, a big thank you to all our reps at large who've chipped in with great ideas. We had some brainstorms on nice sessions. We had ideas from other interest groups that came to us with ideas, which was wonderful. So you'll see that several of our Saturday and Sunday sessions, I think all of them are collaborative in collaboration with other IGs, which I think, is a great strength, appealing to a larger pool of people at SMS that may be interested in these sessions. So without further ado, let me jump in and you'll get to see who the people are that helped out with each of these sessions. So Koen, if you could go to the next slide, please. So starting with our Saturday morning session, this is a session on connecting micro-strategizing to macro phenomena and the challenges and opportunities that come with doing qualitative research. I've included the pictures and names of everyone that is on this panel. And these are all experts in the field of doing qualitative research. And I'm very happy that I was asked by Renate and Teresa to collaborate on this. So they are here from the Strategy Practice IG, and I joined from the Strategy Process IG. And they already ran a similar session last year, which was a big success. The room was too small to fit everyone who was interested in this session. So hopefully SMS has given us a bigger room this time so that everybody who's attending can, enjoy. I do want to point out that this session has two parts. So first, the panelists will join their area of expertise, and we already had a call actually with all, or Renate did. I couldn't make it, but Renate already had a call with all of the panelists, and they actually talked about who will talk about what. So you'll hear all of them tell different stories about their expertise and things that they think are important. After these after this panel session, everybody gets a chance to actually meet with these panelists in like round tables. So, and registration is not required. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely please join us for this session. I think it will be wonderful. I'm looking at Renata, I see her response. So I'm hoping I do it justice. But yeah, I thoroughly hope that you will join us. And I would like to point out, men are welcome too. We realize this is quite a female heavy session, but we would love to have you, male or female. You can just join for this session. Koen, if you could go to the next one, please, because we have another Saturday. Oh yeah, no application required. This is our second Saturday workshop. So the first one is in the morning. This one is our afternoon session. And this is a proven concept as well. So we're doing this together with the strategy practice IG. And it is the process of publishing strategy research, journeying along the sometimes bumpy, but ultimately successful path to publication. So this is a story that has a happy ending. This is a paper that had a bumpy road but got published in the end. And this is a very interesting session that we do have been doing for several years, but we look at a different paper each year, and that's what makes it so interesting. So we both have a panel of editors who will share with us the stories about things that they notice, that they pick up on, that they think are interesting or important when you publish strategy research. And the second part of the session is actually looking in depth into a paper and hearing from both the authors and from the editor's perspective, what it was like to get that paper under review, how it went through the review process, and how finally it turned into a publication. And this session is organized by Kodu and Madeline, and I'm very excited to see that session. I think it's always so good to learn from how people took all these steps and really were able to, get their research out there. So again, a highly interesting Saturday session that I would highly recommend. Next slide, please. Cool. Oh yeah, no application required for that one either. And then we have Sunday sessions as well that I am very excited about. So the first is a Sunday session on emotions, so research on emotions in strategy. And the idea of this session is really to look back at all the research being done to inspire future scholars or scholars now interested in emotions to really build on what is already out there. So this session is organized by Soare, Kodu, Natalia, Cindy, and Tessa. So it's again a collaboration with other interest groups. And I think that makes for a very interesting session, because you will really hear about research, not just from the strategy process side, but also more from corporate strategy. And I think there's a lovely panel with, experts in this field. Some of them have never attended SMS before and will do so now. So I think that really shows that the organizers really looked for people that would be fitting, that may not be your, average panelist at SMS. So I think this is a very interesting session. I think it really is a nice, collaboration. So I really want to thank all the reps who worked on that for putting that together. And then we have one more Sunday session, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And that is looking inside the corporate boardroom. And again, is focused on new perspectives, but this time new perspectives in research on upper echelon processes and strategic change. And this is a session, again, done in collaboration. So Alexander worked on that from our sides. And then we have Tina and Pitosh collaborating and joining in with Alexander as well in this. Again, I think a very interesting panel will talk about the corporate boardroom, and I think it's a very nice thing. We've had a lot of process sessions, and I think Alexander really pushed us to look more at upper echelon processes specifically. So I think that will be very interesting session. So I'm very excited about those both Saturday and Sunday sessions. And I want to say we actually had more ideas, but not all of them make them. So I want to say again, thank you to our reps, because we had more ideas than could fit into the program, which I think is, is a wonderful thing. So thank you so much. I really hope to see you at these sessions, because I think they will be very inspiring. So very much looking forward to seeing you there. Good. You can click to the next one. And then I think it's off to Carlo.
Well done, Janine.
Mhm.
Great job with your team. And I think it's a fabulous and very exciting program. So over to me, a very, very short introduction on the conference program and recognition. So it's great to see you all, those who are you who are attending online and in live, and those of you who will watch the recording. So the overview, just one slide on the overview. I want to put all the menu of our IG on one slide. So Janine already talked about the weekend sessions, some of them with other IGs. I would like to shortly mention the paper sessions that I worked on over these few months. So we will have 5 paper sessions between October 1 and 3. It's track H, so don't get it wrong. So you want to attend only track H sessions. No, I'm joking, obviously, but they are the best, obviously. We will have 3 paper sessions, 1 common ground session, and 1 parallel panel. Topics range between, they're all revolving around, obviously, strategy process, with a focus on turbulence and disruptions, which was probably one of the most, if not the most, commonly mentioned topic, decision-making, resources and dynamic capabilities, identity, and strategy implementation. Here I listed them in chronological order from Sunday early afternoon all the way to Tuesday afternoon. So we have a first paper session on strategic and managerial decision-making in market and non-market strategies. Another paper session on identity, work, and legitimacy issues in strategic transitions with a bunch of very, very interesting papers. All of them are actually. A parallel panel on govern for growth, how private equity and corporates govern through turbulent times. You see this turbulence recurring across these sessions. And the common ground session that we have on strategy processes amidst turbulence, disruptions, and crisis. This is on Tuesday morning. While the last paper session on Tuesday afternoon, managerial interventions, resource transfer, and dynamic capabilities in strategy implementation processes. We selected these sessions with a 51% acceptance rate, as Cohen said before, through the fabulous help of reviewers. Our reviewers do a great job, so we deeply want to thank them and to recognize them. They are all excellent, but 3 out of them were outstanding. So Cohen, next slide. Our best reviewers are Patrick Reinmoller, next, David King, and next, Magdalena Dobraska. These are really star reviewers. All of them reviewed the maximum for our IG, which is 3, but look at the overall number. So we are generous as an IG. So we also wanted to thank those who are generous also with other IGs. And look at Patrick, 14, amazing number of overall reviews. And I think that Patrick is here. If you want to say a couple of words, you are more than welcome. David, 11 overall, and Magdalena, 11 overall. I don't think that David and Magdalena are connected, but congratulations, David and Magda, because you did a great job as well. You will be watching the recording, I know. Patrick, you want to say a couple of words? So how can you be so passionate? And all this is not just numbers, sorry, forgot to say. We went through the reviews and they are all excellent. So extended, really constructive and positive, and helping authors develop their work. So I don't know if you, Patrick, are you still here? Because sorry, I don't see all participants. Oh, yes.
Thank you, Carlo. Thanks a lot. It's just a delight and an honor to be recognized this way. It's always great to get these wonderful proposals submitted to the SMS process. It's a delight to review wonderful work, and it's great to be recognized like that by the committee. And I think that David and Magdalena could not but agree. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. 14 reviews. Wow, amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So next we move to recognizing best proposal. So how did we go through it? So we actually let our reviewers stake. And so I identified the 3 proposals with the highest assessments from reviewers. It's actually an objective, if not quantitative assessment. So there were 3 that were outstanding. Together with Cohen and Janine, we checked that the reviewers' assessments and the rankings were consistent. So comments were also very positive. And so the idea is that these reviewers ranked these proposals very high, and they had a very positive view on these. So the highest ranked proposal is the winner. And the other 2 proposals in the next slide are the finalists. So Cohen, the 2 finalists are Eleonora Carloni and Stefan Masiek with contextualizing strategy through historical artifacts, corporate museums as sources of rhetorical narratives. While Cao Danghui, the roles of first-line managers in navigating the post-acquisition integration strategy. So congratulations to these colleagues. Excellent proposals. Very well done. I think that Elena is connected, if I'm not wrong. Elena, are you connected? I saw you before.
Eleonora?
Eleonora, sorry, Eleonora.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm here.
Scusa,
Yes,
Eleonora, sorry.
Nessun problema. Grazie. Thank you all.
Excellent. Want to say a few words also on behalf of Stefan. Stefan is not connected, if I'm not wrong.
Stefan is not connected because in Sydney is in the middle of the night, so he's probably sleeping.
Congratulations, Stefan. Great job.
He will be happy too. I will update him. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Eleonora, thank you so much. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
And Carlo, the other finalist is here too.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see him. Where
Yeah.
is the other finalist?
You probably need to scroll down.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cal. Sorry. Now I see you. Now I see you. Sorry. I needed to scroll down in. Congratulations as well. Do you want to say a couple of words? Thank you so
Yeah,
much for joining us.
So thank you for your nomination. So it's my honor to become like one of the 3 finalists. And congratulations to all our strategy group, as our work is processing so well. And it's my honor for the first time that I joined our strategy group.
Oh, great. That's fabulous. Very well done. It's not an honor, actually. It's very, very well deserved. So we are honored to have your works and the work of your colleagues presented in our IG sessions. And I believe that we have all 3 authors of our winner, the finalists, if I'm not wrong. And these are Tao Vo, Helene Coleman, and Birgitte Grogard. I think that you are all connected, if I'm not wrong. So you may all say something if you want, unless there is someone who is talking on behalf of the others. Congratulations. Very well done. Is there any one of you or all of you want to say something? And sorry, the title, let me read it. To be or not to be, organizational identity work in the context of energy transition, session 2742. You don't want to miss this session and all the others, of course, with our 3 finalists. I don't know, Tao, Elene, or Birgitte?
Hi.
Tao, hello. Thank
Hi.
you for being here.
Yes, I think I'm speaking on behalf of my supervisor, Helena and Birgitte, and we're very happy and honored to be nominated and to be recognized for our work. So thank you very much for your recognitions, and we look forward to seeing as many of you in person in Toronto soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for submitting. Great job. Congratulations again. Very well done. Then we have one last award, which is the Outstanding Service Award. You should not be the one turning the slide, Cohen, but you actually are managing the session. So over to the winner of the Service Award, which is Cohen. Why, actually? So actually, I discussed it with Janine, and The reason is that as an outgoing IG chair, so Cohen slaved through for 3 years over these jobs with a lot of passion and with an enormously thoughtful, careful, and smart attitude, always active and proactive. So, and he provided outstanding service throughout all the 3 years of leadership process and guidance to the incoming leaders and RILs, guidance to the incoming leaders such as myself. So I personally experienced his support, his thoughtful and caring support when I was just entered in this beautiful and fascinating process. So Cohen, what can I say? Thank you so much for what you did for our IG over these 3 years. Let's stay connected because we need all the energy and passion that you have. And you're rotating off from the leadership, but not from being a very, very active and smart member of our IG. And you must say a few words.
Well, Carlo, I mean, you know, thanks so much for sharing this, and you know, it's just you know, I think I'm super thankful to be able to work with with you and Janine over the years, and this is just so nice. And I think what I particularly like to share, you know, I truly appreciate the appreciation that you're giving. But I think first and foremost, I think I'm thankful to be able to contribute to the community, and hope to continue to do that, whether in this role or in others. But you know, I hope that it's for once. I mean, it's been super easy. I mean, to have you join and Janine as well, because there's you are just extremely passionate and committed yourself. So that makes it obviously for a wonderful collaboration. And I hope that the rest of all of us watching, and those who are joined in, are enthused to join in and see an opportunity to also whether directly or indirectly contribute to your IG. And I hope that kind of energy reverberates throughout our community, and to stimulate others to be active and come in as well. So once again, I mean, thanks so much, and I'm much looking forward to the Toronto and all the activities that you have been organizing along with the rest of the team, of course. Thanks, Carlo.
Thank you very much. And as you just said, whoever is interested in volunteering for this type of position, such as RIL, or even in the leadership position after having some experience and involvement with the IG, please connect with us, talk to us. And it's very open. So these IGs in general, but process in particular, are always very open. It's fun. It's not really an enormous amount of work, but it's serious and interesting, and we believe valuable work for our community. So thank you very much again, Cohen, and to all the participants, those who reviewed and submitted to our IG. Back to Janine in terms of, and Cohen again, in terms of the future moving forward. Thank you.
I think it's me, right? Yeah, it's me. It's hard if you cannot see the slides. Yes, big congratulations to all the winners, all the finalists. It's really great to see your contributions to our interest group. I have the pleasure of sharing a little bit about the activities that are on the SMS program, but are not the official part of the program, but the more engagement oriented parts of the program. And I can say that these are the things that are fun to organize. It was hard to get into the footsteps of Mr. James Bond Carlo himself after the wonderful session that I think was a highlight for many of us, not just because of the cocktails, but just because it allowed us to really mingle with some of the other interest groups in a very fun and memorable way. But we've tried, so we can move to the next slide. Oh, yeah, there we go. We do have a fun event for you again. That is a collaboration with our own IG strategy practice, the teaching community again, and corporate strategy is joining us this year as well. Because you may not know this, or you may know this, Toronto is actually quite famous for jazz music. We figured we lean into that. So we will have a social where you will learn a little bit about jazz music. So we have a local jazz musician who's also an instructor at the University of Toronto. And he will share a little bit of insight about where strategy process and jazz music meet. And then after that, we will have Sazerac cocktails, which I've been told go very well with jazz music. So there will be cocktails again, but a different one. And then Pete Johnston, who is our musician, actually asked 2 musicians to join him. So we'll have a trio of musicians. We will have 1 bass player, 1 sax, and 1 guitar or piano. We're not sure. We'll see. That's the fun of jazz. And I think all of them play multiple musical instruments, but there will be some jazz music to enjoy your Sazerac and to enjoy interacting with people from this, these multiple IGs. So Koen, if you can click to the next one, I think I had a few more details. Yeah, exactly. So if you want to already check it out, I highly recommend checking out Pete Johnston. He has a website and you can listen to his music. So if you want to get into the mood for the jazz, you can listen to his music. And I also can confirm that the room we will be in is Birchwood. So many of the socials will be running from 6:30 to 7:30. And we decided we'll be fashionably late. So our session is running from 7 to 8. So that allows everyone to go to maybe one of the other socials from one of the other interest groups, and then come to listen to jazz music with us and enjoy your Sazerac or another drink. That's fine too if you're not into cocktails. But we really hope to see many of you there. Spread the word, bring other people to listen to the jazz, to enjoy something that Toronto is famous for, and learn a little bit about, what makes Toronto jazz, and how does that match with, the things that we do in strategy. So that is, I think, the fun thing to look forward to. We do have some other things. Koen, if you could go to the next slide, just to keep you all engaged. So there will be lunch tables again. I think this is something very popular amongst everyone at SMS. It's a great way to find your people and share lunch and make new connections, meet new people, or meet old friends, or both. So highly recommend doing that as a way to get to know people. So if you're having lunch, look for the strategy process lunch tables and join us. And then Koen, if I can have the next slide as well. One other thing I wanted to point out to you is that we have a resource on our website that lists a lot of strategy process research. So if you have strategy process research and you want it to be featured more and be cited more, one thing I highly recommend is sending it to us so that we can post it here. I think this is a great resource for everyone doing process research. So I highly recommend share your work with us so we can feature it here. If you're a PhD student interested in strategy process research, check out this website because it has everything listed you probably want to read to get into the strategy process space. So I wanted to share that too. As mentioned by, I think, both Koen and Carlo, if you're interested in joining our IG, either as a rep at large or maybe even interested in a leadership position, we can highly recommend it. As you can probably see from the many smiles, we are having a great time. We really love working with the people in the strategy process IG. It's great to have an impact. It's great to work with the people at SMS as well. The SMS office, they're really wonderful in helping us. So if you're interested, come talk to us, maybe while drinking a Sazerac and listening to jazz music, or at one of the lunch tables. We're happy to talk to you, and we always welcome people who are interested. So that's it for me. I think that's everything I wanted to say. So I'm giving it back to Koen to, say final words and share a few more things.
Janine, thanks so much. And, Carlo and Janine, thanks for all the contributions and that you've laid out. And, and particularly, I inserted in the chat box, of course, on behalf of, the team, big congrats to all of the finalists and the winners for the different awards. Wonderful to see that, those contributions to our field. So, I have some good news to share, right? In the sense that, the IG is going to be released of the Crazy Dutch, and this is the future team. So Carlos and Janine, I can just say are just, utterly fun and great to work with, and that comes from the heart. So and along with the reps, who are continuing, so Kodu, Alex, and Joachim, this is going to be really a very, very nice group to join in. If you like to contribute to our community, I think this is really probably the best time, because I can just say from experience, it's great and a lot of fun to do. And so for those of you, willing to think about that, please, as Shani was saying, feel free to join in on the social, but better even if you want to reach out, you can drop me an email to basically indicate or just talk about if you're interested. I am happy to share more, and I'm sure that Janine and Carlo are also happy to do that. But the formal elections process is such that it looks a little bit like this. So for those of you who would like to further engage, be active in whatever way, it is good to be to signal your interest as the nominations are due the beginning of next month, and then the online elections will kick off in November. Results will be communicated in early December, and then from January forward, the new team will start. So please do, let us know whatever route via email or in another way that you're interested. And that can also, of course, be done as we meet in Toronto still. So wanted to highlight that. And then, there is some, beyond Toronto, of course, there is some good, outlook that I'd like to share, as, Istanbul is going to be the next location for the annual that is upcoming in 24. So, the theme is going to be on strategic management of fault lines, contradictions and divergences. And, the conference dates are reported here as well. It's going to be October 19 to 22 next year in wonderful Hilton and Bomoni. So, those are going to be, that's going to be the outlook and the theme for next annuals event organized by the SMS. And, but first and foremost, of course, we have the, Toronto to look forward to, and I hope to be able to see, as said, many of you there. And I guess, as the final, word, I'd like to say that, my thanks go out to you as a community, for everyone who's been, dedicating their time, with wonderful reviews with other survey activity, or just, by joining in, right, by being there and being part of our community. And so, I'm really looking forward to, to see our community grow, to share some of, the insights of the wonderful work that you're doing. And, of course, as said, looking forward to meeting. Are there any thoughts, questions, comments you'd like to share? So if you would, please do come in or raise your hand. Or I cannot see all the participants, I think, in my little, my little view here, but
I figured out a way to do that, and there we go. We see it, one raised hand. Go ahead.
Yeah. Cal,
Okay.
please come in.
Okay, so thank you for your introduction. And because this is the first time I attend I participate to the SMS conference, and the common ground is something very new to me. So can you give us like a little bit more explain about how it works, and any recommendations on how we should prepare for better sections at the common ground, please? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Happy to jump in on that. Carlo, given it's the conference program, would you like to say a few words about that, or would you like me to
Sure.
Please go ahead. Yeah,
absolutely, sure. Thank you for this question. So it's very simple. You may find more details on the website with a description of how these sessions work, but it's very simple. So the authors, the presenters will be sitting around the table, and the audience will be sitting around. The idea is to have something which is, very informal, giving 3-4 minutes each participant to shortly introduce their proposal. Fundamentally, the objectives, which were the objectives, the goals, the research questions, if you want, and the results, the main results. After that, about 3-4 minutes each, depending on the number of participants, there will be an overall discussion on the topics among the participants, the presenters, and the audience, which is really usually highly engaged because it's a very informal and constructive setting. You are welcome to bring, if you want, a handout, physical piece of paper, handout with maybe, I don't know, like a table or like a couple of slides, but not long, not the paper or a 15-slide presentation. So something very, very short, like a visual support for your 3 minutes presentation. I'm the program chair, but Koen and Janine, if you want to add something like suggestions on how to do it, you are equally experienced, if not more.
Well, I just want to add that I think a benefit of doing those common ground sessions is because you're presenting just for a couple of minutes, you really have to think about what is this paper about. And I know we all know what our papers are about, but what is it really about? And that's, I think once you get to your introduction and really fine-tuning what your paper is about, and I think the introduction is so important because that's where you hook in your reviewers and your readers. I have found the common ground sessions the most helpful sessions in figuring out what my paper is really about. And then it's very helpful to be around others that are, that's why it's a common ground session, working on something similar. Because once you've explained it well, they can give you very valuable feedback that can be very, good as you continue building your work. And so I think I find these sessions very helpful. I also think they're very enjoyable to, be in as a participant because there's clearly a common ground. The theme is very clearly woven into all of these papers. So I hope you have the same experience, but I find these common ground sessions always very helpful and interesting. I hope we've answered your question.
So thank you for your information and your advice.
Great question, Cal. Thanks for asking it, and I think that's certainly helpful. So getting insights in common ground question in the common ground session, and trying to basically get ideas from the other participants on key questions you may have for your paper is a great opportunity. I think common grounds are wonderful for that. And any other questions from the group?
I think we're very clear, or we're standing in between people's dinner.
Very possible.
Or
very
coffee.
possible. Yeah.
My case.
or both. And I would like to thank everyone for joining in. Thanks for sharing and be part of our community, as said. And I hope that along with Carlo and Janine, I'll be seeing you in real life and soon in Toronto. So once again, thanks to everyone. Carlo and Janine, you want to add anything to that? Please
Just
go ahead.
A big thank you for being here with us or for watching the recording.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
See you in Toronto.
See you in Toronto.
And bye-bye.
Thanks for organizing. Looking forward to see you there.
Thank you, Joachim. Bye-bye.
You
See you
too.
soon.
See you soon.